Hey, what's up, y'all? Benoit here from AFS in the US. I've got Richard here with me from AFS in France, and we're super excited to talk about the HA Ultra today. Brought Richard along because this is one of your many babies, and he's definitely more adept at explaining the feels of these foils. I've had a chance to get them under my feet, but frankly, they're definitely downwind oriented, although there's a lot of use cases for various disciplines. With that, I'll hand it over to Richard to kind of maybe just give us an overview of what have you been doing with this foil? What's the feedback from folks? It's been out for just a little bit of time, not long yet, but enough to get some feedback.
Absolutely, a couple of weeks only. Actually, that the 600 and 750 have been out. The 900 is going to be out in a couple of weeks, actually. So that's the pre-series of the 900 that we've got here. And they are basically a good evolution of the 750 monoblock that we had in the range for last 2 years. There's been quite a bit of tuning on it. The profile, the outline, the twisting of the foil has been adjusted, and so basically pretty much everything about it except the surface area of the 750 is now new. What we did get out of those tuning on this foil is like even better range than the original 750. They are obviously now available in modular version, so you could use it with different size of fuselage and different type of fuselage, even though we'll see that there's actually a two specific fuselage that gives the full potential of this foil. When I mean full potential is better range overall and better performances, but also better accessibility. That's why for this specific Ultra, the use of the latest fuselage makes a lot of sense. Still, you're able to use the original standard fuselage if you use a shim, 1 degree shim on the back of your stabilizer, the thickness of the shim on the back of your stabilizer. You will get a decent compartment of the foil, even though it won't be as good as when it's used with the new advanced fuselage or titanium fuselage also. So
yeah. What I noticed with whether the short or the standard, it was the Ultra was a little nose up before we put the shim, and so that's why it's important. You're going to want to go thick end of the shim in the back. We will be delivering all of the Ultra HAs in the US with the tail shim, so that you've got that option. But yeah, just remember thick end in the back, and then that really leveled it out, right? And it felt like the angle of attack of the foil was more natural, and it allowed water flowing to the stabilizer to just feel more balanced.
Exactly, yeah. Especially the control in high speed.
Yeah,
is much better with that. Obviously, the new fuselage is going to be fully plug and play. No need for the shim and everything. But for the use of the regular standard fuselage that's been out for a while now, this shim is going to be recommended for those Ultra.
Yeah. And so digging into the sizes, so with the monoblock, we only had the 750. Now we have 3 sizes, and they're not just scaled, right? Because the 600 actually has an aspect ratio of 16, the 750, 15, and the 900 is 14. Down to a 14.
Yeah. The original version of the 750 was 14 back then.
Yeah.
And we've been able to improve the range, improve the overall performance of pretty much all those foils. They are easier to pop up, and they have a bigger range. Basically, they're not gonna. They're gonna be less, even less physically taxing compared to the older version that was already pretty efficient. So
yeah, and we kept the tubercules. Remind everyone real quick, kind of the thoughts on the tubercules versus just having a straight edge.
It's basically giving them even more forgiveness than what you would get with a regular profile. So those foil are actually really exceptionally turning for foil of that span. It's pretty surprising.
Yeah.
So even though they are really high performance oriented, They're actually really enjoyable for downwinding. To play with the swell also, you really could do crank some really good turns with it. They are going to be great for parawinging up and down also, because obviously with this aspect ratio, the upwinnability of those foils gets crazy good. So for parawinging into up and down, in the up and down version of parawinging, that's going to be a weapon, no doubt about it. Same for winging, I'd say.
Yeah.
And so people will get to have a wider use than what they would expect normally from foils with this aspect ratio, because they're going to be that forgiving and that playful also,
yeah.
which is not the case of most downwinding high performance foil on the market, I think.
And real quick, recommended stabilizers. Obviously, the new U Glide is fantastic. I quite enjoyed the Carve yesterday. I thought it brought a lot of forgiveness while keeping a fair amount of speed. Maybe a touch slower.
Yeah, I think if I had to compare the U Carve and the U Glide, the Glide was actually not that far away one from the other. I'd say that the outline of the U Glide gives this forward momentum while pumping. That's going to be a bit better than the U Carve, and obviously the U Carve is going to be more turny, more forgiving into the turn. And so the main difference is going to be not that much the thickness anymore, but the outline itself. That's going to give, while you're pumping, that they're going to have different feel because of that, I would say. But yeah, I think they're great with those, with the Ultra. Actually, putting U Carve makes a ton of sense.
Yeah. All right, so as we wrap things up, obviously Richard's been teasing us a future fuselage, and actually two future fuselages. One will be carbon fiber, one will be titanium, and there'll be a future video when they're available explaining the exact differences, but they're all intercompatible with all the front wings. It's a matter of just tweaking really mostly where the stabilizer geometry is, and that's why using a shim on your stabilizer basically doesn't make it the exact same as the new fuselage, but pretty dang close.
Yeah.
So while you wait for the new fuselage, or if you don't want to buy a new fuselage, which I totally understand, the shim on the stabilizer will do the trick, and totally rideable without. Like if you like that angle where your nose up a little bit more, but I definitely recommend trying it with the shim. It's more natural flow.
It is,
to it.
The titanium fuse, like so that people understand, like main difference compared to the carbon fuse is going to be the pretty dramatic reduce of the sections. So hydrodynamic wise, the titanium is going to be the ultimate choice. And
I think we'll end it there on the titanium so we don't get fired, Richard.
Yeah. Good idea, probably.
Thanks, y'all. Talk to you soon.